Well, if ergo is actually used to conclude, and ergo is what allows one to get stronger, you could posit the possibility. Again, I could be overthinking, but that's what I do. I love philosophy, and I try sneaking philosophy in everywhere. You know, that's why Hidden Dragon philosophy is my stream. If ergo is concluding something, then one's knowledge to conclude from the world is what makes us stronger. There you go. You know, so maybe the ergo, the therefore that exists in Pinocchio, it's almost like as I destroy things, I learn. As I defend myself, I get stronger. I learn certain facts about the world, the therefore, right? I'm learning the therefore from the world, and in that way, I am gaining in life, you know? All right. To be honest, I did try this demo. Well, welcome everyone to HD Philosophy. We're not going live. I'm just recording these just to see if there's something in these games. For those who don't know, I'm the professor. And this is HD Philosophy, also called Hidden Dragon Philosophy, where we take some time out of our busy schedules to meditate on the classics of philosophy in order to unlock that hidden dragon that exists within each of us. Now, I'll be honest, I had thought originally to just go live and try to stream this, but I don't know if I want to do that. Maybe I'll do some recordings while I play through this. I played through the demo. I got past that large clown, but there was something special about the game. So I got the game, and here we are. We're starting off right in the beginning, selecting the language, and we're going to record and play through this possible awesome experience brought to us by those who love Dark Souls, although I don't think it's the same creator. I don't think it's the same production company. I think From Software is the one that does Dark Souls. Just make sure this is up. And everything's running. So here we go. We're going to play Lies of P, brand new game. Hope the audio's good. I won't be able to check until I check back on this recording. So let's go for it. I wasn't a fan of Pinocchio when I was younger. I was much more into The Lion King. But upon watching Jordan Peterson's lectures, I started getting a very much high respect for Pinocchio and the archetypes that exist within it. Okay, the Blue Fairy, just like the demo, the Blue Fairy gives life to Pinocchio. So now we are alive. Or did she just wake us up? Maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe she just woke us up. He didn't actually give us life. All right. Looks like I have some things. Okay. Oh, look at that. Even Christmas attire. How cute. Oh, I can go darker with the darker apparel. Wow. It's like plague. It's like a plague outfit. Okay, well, this is my first playthrough, so I don't know if I'm actually going to dress Pinocchio up. It's not like I actually know his mannerisms, although he is a robot. Puppet, I guess. That's what they're calling him now. But
there you are.
Okay.
I've been looking all over for you.
There we go. Okay. Looks like I can't even move fast right now. What am I interacting with? It's on the ground. So Jiminy.
Jiminy too. But we have to hurry.
Just interesting because I wonder why they decided to do that. Sophia,
Please come to Hotel
wisdom.
Krot, and I'll explain what's happening. Jiminy, please escort him to the hotel.
So that's an interesting take already. You know, the original was Jiminy Cricket, as everybody knows, the JC, Jesus Christ. It's almost like that moral authority within, even though Jiminy Cricket did not know too much in the outstep in the beginning of Pinocchio. He didn't know that much either.
Find something that might help.
But here he's like Gemini. You know, I wonder if they're going with like the astrological sign. You know, the Gemini is always two sides of the coin, always two sides on things, which would be kind of interesting because I believe in this game you're allowed to tell lies or truths. So, I mean, I guess in that way you're of two minds as well. I wonder if Gemini is going to offer guidance in that way.
Streets are not safe. Arm yourself with one of the weapons over
Yeah, I
there.
can't shake this feeling that we're in
It'll
for
be
something
helpful on your way to the
spectacular
hotel.
with this game. All right, Path of the Cricket, you know, balanced. Path of the Bastard with dexterity. Path of the Sweeper with strength. Well, last time in the demo, I did much more of a balanced, but I think we're going to go with the Great Sword path. Yeah. My back trigger is actually kind of broken, so it's really, really sensitive. I need to get another controller. All right, Gemini. Eliminating the Jesus Christ from Jiminy Cricket. Installing the astrological sign of the twins. Guess we'll shake that off now. Okay, all right, locking on. All right, let's get a feel for this. Oh, good range. What does this look like? Double swipe? Okay. Okay, what if I tap? Okay. How about if I roll? Wow, same thing. Okay. Didn't give me another one. How's our perfect parry on this? That definitely wasn't even close to a perfect parry. There we go. This is interesting. I've got the robots attacking me. Like, am I a different kind of robot? Am I a different kind of puppet? Are they not puppets? You know, what differentiates me from them right now? The blue fairy. So I was like, can they like sense the blue fairy? Okay. I wonder because like they're just like me, you know. Yeah, there we go. Dodge and rear dodge. I was supposed to be doing that. I'm over here doing something else. Oh, good damage. All right. Yeah, so what's the difference? How am I different from them right now? You know? Why are they attacking me immediately? Use Legion Arm. Boom! Okay, my strongest attack. I wonder if it is the blue fairy that differentiates me from them. Or my ability to lie. That's probably part of it. Oh, anytime I think about that, I just think of Deus Ex Machina. Okay. Yeah, that's the perfect parry, okay. For those that don't know, Deus Ex Machina was this movie where they were playing with the idea of AI. You know, when AI would gain sentience. And the whole time, the guy is treating the female robot basically like a slave. Like, it wants him and things like that. And of course, he kind of falls in love with it. But what we find out towards the end is she is deceiving him. You know, spoiler alert. Sorry, I should have said that before. But she is absolutely deceiving him. So then you start to imagine, wait a minute. So it's not really, I mean, I guess it's the Turing project. I don't even know if it's called the Turing Project. Let me make sure I'm saying that right. It's like the Turing test, not the Turing project. Let me see if I just said that right. The Turing test, yeah? Yeah, the Turing test. The idea being that if you can fool an individual, then they are in fact sentient. But then John Searle put a stop to that with his Chinese room experiment. Still, though, in Deus Ex Machina, if you take that aside, if you take out the fact that he was fooled, all right, take that out of there. What you'll realize is maybe one aspect of sentience is the ability to lie. You know, to deceive. Because, I mean, if you think about it, what does it mean to deceive? I know the right answer. I'm just not saying it, you know? Or maybe I don't know the answer at all, or the very fact that I know that I don't know the answer, but then I pretend like I know. So there's some aspect of knowing, right, to a lie. Knowing you know, but not telling the truth, you know? But, yeah, it's not without its... Ooh, passenger notes. It's not without its... It's not without its place in AI theory. Lock the door. You find no work. So I should stop him from. Please do everyone. So I'm much more of a speed reader because I have to read a lot of students' essays every single week. So. I'm not going to be reading it out loud. Hope you folks can be able to see it and read it, because that would not work for me. I would become a worse reader than I am now, just reading it all out loud. Or maybe I could try to do that for you. We'll see. We'll see. Ooh, that does take a little while, though. All right. I swear it's a lot faster, though. I remember the dexterity one was pretty fast, but it was so weak. I don't see this as that much slower. Oh, sharpen? Oh no, that was Gemini. I'm gonna make fun of that. Not make fun. I mean, I should give them a lot more credence than that. But yeah, eliminating the JC from it. You know, well, we'll see where we go from this. Okay, just like Dark Souls. Here's our shortcut. I remember that guy from the demo. He kicked my ass. I was not able to beat him, I think the third or fourth time. Yeah. If you're expecting amazing games from me, that's going to disappoint you. Oof, that was bad. God, every button is a commitment. Like Street Fighter all over again. Ooh, that broke my guard. It wasn't perfect, though. Ooh, mind. Okay. Footsies. Try this again. Let's get your distance. Alright. Okay. Nope. Missed my distance. Let's just play with this for now. Some jabs to get our distance. Yep. Okay. Oh. Oof. I could not get out of the way. Mm-hmm. So if they're staggered, hold for a charge attack. While you are attacking, a white outline will appear around the enemy's HP bar. Now, the reason I'm reading this is because I can never get this. When this happens, you can make an enemy stagger with a charge attack, or with fable arts. The hell's... Oh, shit! Is that fabled arts right there? Because that didn't stagger him at all. One of us is gonna die! That was a bad attack on his arm. So what is the fable art then? Because that definitely didn't stagger him when I hit the triangle. Is that the fabled art? Equipment, bag, character info. Oh, well. Fabled slot. Well, then I guess that's the fabled art then, right? Didn't see it stagger. Oh, maybe I need to hit all three to stagger him. That could be. Yeah, but I didn't die. I mean, that's obviously better than the demo. Oh, but where was I? It was Deus Ex Machina, yeah. And they're going to play with that. I remember when I get to... Oh, I'm not going to spoil it, but I remember when I get to the hotel, I am pretty much forced to you know. All right, let's go. What they do with video games nowadays, it's just absolutely amazing. Look at this. Look at this world. Dark Side Pinocchio game. I just have to play it. Have to play it. I'm actually like, I want to say giddy, but I actually feel the excitement. That's what I love about games. To be able to like embody the characters. Now, I never thought I'd want to embody Pinocchio. This is more of enjoying the story of Pinocchio. Embodying the characters is what I loved about RPGs back in the day. Oh, to be able to experience a story from different personalities. My love of like RPGs from early. So when I say early, I mean like Lufia and the Fortress of Doom early. I should probably heal, right? Yeah, probably should have used that thing to heal. Oh, but yeah, Lufia and the Fortress of Doom with the Sinistrals. Okay, let's read this. Puppet Frenzy, okay. Cause is still unknown. Puppet Factory, so they are calling them puppets too. Puppet Frenzy. Okay, so I blocked themselves out of there. So yeah, they're puppets too. So then they don't seem to be attacking each other. So then what separates me, the puppet, from them? You know? Maybe it's my movements. I'm not acting like them.
A marvelous device the stalkers used in the past.
The stalkers.
Puppet threshold exceeds danger estimates. Please reduce puppet numbers or reset danger parameters.
As we are not strong enough to beat the puppets. But if I lend my power to this...
What puppets is she referring to? I just beat a bunch of puppets.
Gather ergo, clever one. This stargazer will make you stronger. But the stargazer's strength doesn't last forever. So be careful with it. Hurry up and
Doesn't
don't
last
tell
forever.
Pride.
That's interesting too. Now there is this term that they use there, ergo. I mean, I only know ergo from like cogito ergo sum. I think therefore I am. But are there other definitions of ergo? Nope, just therefore. Like a cosmic argument. Like, let's go. Let's get more health for a little while. And maybe do a little bit of more damage. Should we do more damage? Oh, motive brings my physical attack higher. 16 and 19. So I guess we'll go motive for now. I don't know. Should I grind a little bit right here? Yeah, might as well. Wife is coming home soon, so I'll be able to talk to her a little bit while I'm grinding for the levels. Storage. Oh, we already have a fabled crystal there. Nice. Should probably put that in my usable items. So. Where am I going to remember it? That's, I don't know, maybe having it down there. I mean, I heal up here though, but I kind of always want the heal. Nah, I tell you what, let's make it heal that, you know, utility, heal. I guess that makes sense. At least if it makes sense in my mind, I'll remember it. Let's put it that way. All right, let's go kick these guys' asses again. I'll take it. Use the belt item. Use a belt item. Can use a throwing object for a long-ranged attack. Well, that's not what I have now. I have healing on there right now, but I'm guessing if I equipped a belt item. Do I want to do that? It's not letting me right now because I got enemies. Had a feeling you were coming. Yeah, therefore, though, huh? Anyway, I hope they do answer. So I am a puppet just like them. They don't actually use, like, machines or anything like that. Oh, good. One shot now. It's fairly early to be one-shotting them. Street Fighter reflexes. Oh, but that was what I was saying. I was talking about embodying. Yes, yes, yes. So, one thing that, you know, I loved about RPGs was the ability to embody different characters. You know, that's the whole turn-based system kind of allowed for. Fable Arts. So those are Blade Fable Arts. While guarding, use to handle Fable Art weapons and steamboats. It's okay. So that's where it started, the love of games, being able to embody. And then it actually went into fighting games. All right, now stick with me here, because I promise this does make sense. When it came to fighting games, one of the first fighting games I actually fell in love with was Tekken. All right? Now, well, okay, Tekken would be the first one that I embodied a character, so I'm actually getting ahead of myself there. Okay, the first fighting game that I really enjoyed was Street Fighter 2, and I had to use an arcade stick while playing it. It was a must for me to actually use the arcade stick, because it gave me the whole arcade feel. You know, it didn't make it feel like I was playing a Nintendo or Super Nintendo or anything, because obviously Street Fighter 2 is Super Nintendo. It didn't make me feel like I was playing a Super Nintendo. It made me feel like I was at the arcade. You know, and isn't that what we want? We want video games to take us to different places. So anyway, needed to get Street Fighter. Was playing it a lot, so I had that love, and then after playing RPGs for the majority of my younger life, started playing fighting games, especially when I moved to Japan and I was playing like the Dragon Ball Famicom games. Those were great. But where was I going with this? Embodying. That's right. So obviously I started playing a lot of those fighting games in Japan because of Vegeta. As you can see, Vegeta is all over my stream, all over my stream frame and everything like that. So he was first one I actually wanted to embody. The frenzies believe in glitch, huh? So them killing people just a glitch. What is a glitch? Your inability to describe what just happened. Glitch might as well be a miracle. So, embodying. So, Vegeta. It's funny how some discussions fall into others. Yeah, I can't dodge that. All right, so started playing fighting games a lot more, but the first one, I mean, I got the feel obviously for Vegeta because he was one of those characters who was my mimic. You know, I'm talking mimic in like the psychological sense of mimic. He was the one I looked up to when I was younger. So because both of my parents, they divorced, so I didn't really have something to look up to of esteem. Ooh, good block. So does this work? Oh, it did stagger. Look at that. Oh, no, it killed. We don't even know if it staggered. So Vegeta is who I looked up to. Vegeta was when I say mimic, what we often do is we often have idols when we're growing up. People we aspire to be. And if you watch like Jordan Peterson's discussions in his Maps of Meaning, Phenomenal book, by the way. Way better than his other two. Not to say something negative about his other two. Those two books of the Order and Chaos were phenomenal. But his Maps of Meaning was like his magnum opus that those two other books actually came from. And he said that. He said his two books were easier to read forms of maps of meaning. Anyway, he talks about in Maps of Meaning how when we look up to people, there it is, crop. Optimal place for observing. So he even said, when we're growing up, there are certain individuals, psychological characteristics that we seem to grow a liking for, and what we do is when we see something we look up to, the first thing we do is we mime it, we mimic it. We see this when kids play. You got a girl and a boy. Ooh, I rolled right into that. You got a girl and a boy who play house. When they're playing house, they're not like pretending to be their parents necessarily. What they're doing is, if you watch them, they're kind of dissecting what it means to be man and woman, like man and womanhood. And they mimic that, all right? So, for me, that worked. Cool. So, for me, the one that I would mime for my definition of manhood was Vegeta. So, I don't know if when I was playing the fighting game at that time I knew what I was doing, but I definitely knew that as I was going through adolescence. That would be somebody I aspired to be, I may go into that a little bit later on one dissecting Vegeta and the way I see Vegeta. That's a story for another time. But for now, that I think was like the first taste of embodying. And as I got better in fighting games, like the character and you would become one. Like that's something that RPGs never gave me. So RPGs are incredible stories, and that's what I love them for. But what fighting games give you, and this is one reason why I love fighting games, what fighting games do for you is they allow you to embody these characters. So when I would play, and the first person I experienced this with was Kazuya Mishima in Tekken. When a friend of mine, because we would play through all hours of the night, when a friend of mine would whiff a button in front of me, I would be like this instinct of like, punish, right? And Kazuya would do it immediately. Like, he and I were on the same psychological plane. I would want it to be done, and it would happen. Now, I wouldn't electric win Godfist, because I wasn't that good at that time, but we were one. It was like, I would think it, he would do it. And in that way, fighting games offered a whole other level to the video game experience. You actually embodied these characters, and that's what I wanted to kind of highlight there. I don't think anything has ever given me that, which is odd, which is really funny because that would make sense on why I never really stuck with Street Fighter. Like Street Fighter, there was nobody there I really enjoyed to embody. People like Ken, Ryu, Chun-Li, Cammy. Cammy was the first one that I mained in New Challengers. And actually got into a fight at an arcade when I kept DPing a person who kept jumping. He got upset at me for DPing him over and over again when he was jumping. But, yeah, that's what fighting games offer that no other game offers. That ability to actually just embody a character. Let's give, a little bit more stamina for this fight, or more damage? Oof, I'm greedy. Let's go more damage. Maybe I can do a little bit of grinding to get one more level to put to Viger. Alright. I don't know why I said it that way. Viger. Ooh, introducing the Puppet Parade. Parade Master. Too bad they didn't offer like some kind of hint, or maybe they did, and I'm just not smart enough to see it. You know, some kind of like a Mega Man hint. Ah, are you fighting Gemini Man? Well, you know what? You're gonna need Magnet Man to take him. I don't even know if those are the ones, but you get what I'm saying, right? The weaknesses involved.
A powerful parade puppet is blocking the entrance, and that's the only way in.
Okay. Okay.
So please, be careful.
So this wise one is so worried about me, like the let's say the overbearing mother. She has that unconditional love of the overbearing mother. Shout out to Jung. And his greatest student. Let's see if I can remember his name while I tear these people up. Oh god, it's gonna bother the hell out of me until I remember it. The collective unconscious. The collective unconscious by Marshall Iliad is stuck in my head because that's what I'm reading right now. Oh man, I can see it. You know what? I'm not gonna turn around. I'm gonna wait till I remember it. That way I can work on my brain's ability to recall. Something as we get older, I'm hearing we lose, and I am in my 40s. That's right, I'm in my 40s. Alright. So anyway, so yes, I am a father too, so I'm very much aware. And I'm kind of a Taoist too. You know, you'll see a kind of a line. I don't want to say a line. Let's just say there's a lot of Taoism that makes sense. One of the first things that brought me to philosophy, other than logic, logic was the first thing that brought me to philosophy. The thing that hooked me was Chinese philosophy, Eastern philosophy. I actually went to China on a like a student exchange program is the best way to put it, although it wasn't an exchange program. It was like a summer internship into China where you can actually study at the Confucian Temple, and for my project, in order to acquire an honorary degree from Beijing University, Peking University as it's called now, I needed to write a dissection on the analects of Confucianism, which I did. But anyway, so my first love for philosophy was actually Eastern philosophy. It actually brought me to my graduate degree in San Francisco State. But so they say, you know, you're born a Confucian and you die a Taoist. So being that I'm at the end of my life, well, hopefully not the end of my life, as I'm nearing the end of my life in my old age, I'm understanding the grand picture of Taoism a little bit more. But one could argue that it's only because of the Confucian study habits that allowed me to open my brain up to those vast Taoist philosophies. So anyway, where was I going with that? Overbearing mother, overbearing father. Two extreme sides of the same coin. Different sides of the same coin. So the unconditional love of the mother and the conditional love of the father. I was watching this podcast a little while ago. I think it was the Whatever podcast. I like to watch that because the debates really challenge my conceptions of like morality and family and stuff like that. I want to get a better idea of what's happening in modernity. So perfect podcast for it. It's not actually where I started, though. I started with not Destiny. Destiny came from that. What was actually the lectures. Lectures of Jordan Peterson and stuff like that. That's where I started, like, really looking at YouTube as a Library of Alexandria. Oh, missed. Whiffed. Try that again. There we go. So, father's love and a mother's love is not the same. At least it doesn't appear to be the same. I'm a philosopher at heart, so, often there's a element of curiosity. I want to keep an element of skepticism, but I'll be honest, it absolutely appears that way. It absolutely appears that, and it kind of makes sense too, because there's not only like one kind of love. I mean, obviously, there's the love between a parent for a child, and then the love that you have for a spouse. Clearly, those are on different. Those are different kinds of love. Well, hopefully for some people, right? Obviously, there's two kinds of love, or there's different kinds of love there. But anyway, so parents. I watched on the whatever podcast, I believe it was Andrew Wilson. He was talking to a bunch of women, and he was trying to explain how if his children crossed a certain line, he would, of course, like, abandon them. Like, he wouldn't love them anymore. And I was like, well, that makes perfect sense to me, because as fathers, our love is conditional. We judge you by the people you're going to be and the decisions you make. But the mother's love is much more unconditional. None of them is right or wrong. They're both just two sides of the same coin, And here's the thing. Sometimes the unconditional love is needed. And there are other times where the conditional love is needed, This, I think it was Jordan Peterson who once said this. This idea that you could never hate your kids, like, where does that come from? Ooh, I have not, yeah. Yeah, where does that come from, This idea that your kids, no matter what, you'll love them. No matter what, they'll be my kids. But clearly they can do, use your imagination, they can do abhorrent things that would make you just sick to your stomach, as all of us free will individuals can do, It's like, no. Clearly, there's a line that they can cross. Anyway, and they were just aghast. They were aghast that he had a line that he believed his kids couldn't cross. They were absolutely aghast by that, But, they come from that unconditional love side, And sometimes that's the answer, and other times the conditional love is the answer. Sometimes you want to be the comfort, other times you want to be the judge. I think that's enough to at least go one up on my stamina. I'm wondering if I should try to get used to, like, reading the possible chat that might be there one of these days. Level up. Stamina. Yeah, there you go. Oh, I can actually go up twice? Nah, one's good. Another one of the power. Not enough conclusions there. Not enough conclusions to move forward. All right. Now, in the demo, I did use the electricity, but I don't think I want to play that way. I think I want to fight them up and up. I was hoping none of these bosses are like Melina. Or Melania of the Blades. I believe that Melina is the Mortal Kombat person. Yeah, Melania of the Blades from Elden Ring. Yes, I did beat her, but my god, that took, I want to say, a day and a half. Countless tries to beat her. Again, if you're looking for the epitome of gamers, this is not the channel. Okay, so here's a different puppet, and yet immediately can recognize me as a bad guy. I wonder if they'll discuss that, you know? Ooh, that was a whiff. Ooh, way too late. But not way too late. Just too late. Maybe that's best to do it here. Still don't have my distance yet with the great sword. There we go. Oof, don't attack in the middle of that. Take that shot. There we go. Nice stun. Ooh, I did not move in time. Wow. Nice. Take that while I can. Got that Mike Tyson bull charge from Punch Out. There's a bunch of you that don't understand that reference. Mike Tyson, that former boxer who does podcasts. Yeah, that amazing, excellent. Ooh, wrong time this. That amazing boxer. The man who once said, "It's the punches you don't see that knock you out." A lot of wisdom in that saying. The other one is it's kind of like the one from Jordan Peterson, right? It's like the snakes in the garden. Like the garden. Oof, I'm playing horribly. It's like the garden. If your life is a garden, the hidden snakes are the ones that kill you. The ones you don't see. Why am I attacking right there? You know he swings again after the charge. I guess I'm so happy I dodged the charge. It's like I can't help myself. I am rewarded with 2 shots right there, though. That's pretty good. I had a feeling. Oh, that was way too late. Huh. That was way too early. Oh, well, I didn't beat him first time, but, you know, wouldn't be a great game if I did, right? Well, it wouldn't be like a Souls-like game, right? But I didn't see From Software. Oh, that's a good question. Who makes this? I don't think it's the Dark Souls people. Lies of Pinocchio. A Souls-like action, you know. So I'm definitely not the only one. Oh, I knew I wasn't the only one. NeoWiz Games and Round 8 Studio. Does Round 8 Studio sound familiar? Alright, here we go again. Don't need to sharpen. Get my ergo sum. Cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. I think, therefore I am. I think as a puppet, therefore I exist. But I must think in order to exist. Yeah. What does it mean to think? Welcome to Ancient Philosophy, everyone, and how the entire West... I missed. That's great. And how the entire West came to be, and the responsibility involved. I bet a bunch of you are like, what is he talking about? Oh, I went right into that. Oh, I'm such an idiot. Well, I think therefore I am is what Descartes used, because it was the only certain thing that he could decipher if he wants pure certainty without any form of doubt, in order to remove all doubt. That combined with like a scientific method, the only thing he could conclude was his own existence using that method. So anyway, I won't go into that. I won't go into kind of my thoughts on that right there. Maybe one day I will. But the ramifications of the defining rationality as freedom, which kind of came from Plato, those ramifications are why, if somebody is like under the influence of drugs and stuff like that, we say it's not them, you know? That's when like paternalism comes in. Because the way we define freedom is your ability to use reason. I mean, it makes sense, right? After he swings this, I'm going to use this. Oh, he's angry. He's angry. So I let him tire himself out like the whole rope-a-dope style. His actual white life. Ew. I saw red there where I was like, I want to kill him. So yeah, there's a lot of implications for that. See this stuff on the bottom? Everyone with different color and vibration workshop used the gem to bring out the puppets. I didn't see that last one. Bring out the puppets something. So, where was I? Oh yeah, freedom. Freedom and how rationality is so closely linked to it. So one of the reasons, because we define freedom in that way, because we define rationality, the ability to use your reason as that which keeps you free, that is why when we see somebody under the influence of like drugs or alcohol, we often say they are not themselves anymore. That's somebody completely different. And it's like their entire outside can remain the same. So this is like the argument for a non-materialist form of identity. Anyway, I won't go down that. Bore anybody. The only people who finds that interesting is probably me. Yeah. Because reason is needed first. In that way, you're only free if your reason is in charge of your desires. So that has a lot of implications, because if freedom is truly your ability to make decisions with reason and not desire, which is understood, because if somebody cuts me off and I get really angry, nobody in their right mind in this civilized world would allow me to run that person off the road because they made me angry, you know? In fact, the people who cannot help themselves and they're just so full of anger that they go off the hinges, those people are usually dismissed to the outskirts of society. You know, they can't be trusted. They are the apolostikos, of the way Aristotle described them. So how does that work here? Well, if ergo is actually used to conclude, and ergo is what allows one to get stronger, you could posit the possibility. Again, I could be overthinking, but that's what I do. I love philosophy, and I try sneaking philosophy in everywhere. You know, that's why Hidden Dragon philosophy is my stream. If ergo is concluding something, then one's knowledge to conclude from the world is what makes us stronger. There you go. You know, so maybe the ergo, the therefore that exists in Pinocchio, it's almost like as I destroy things, I learn. As I defend myself, I get stronger. I learn certain facts about the world, the therefore, right? I'm learning the therefore from the world, and in that way, I am gaining in life, you know?
One more thing I should mention. The hotel's security excludes puppets like you.
Interesting.
So you'll have to
Lie to get inside.
You're a
special
special
kind of
puppet after all.
And if I remember correctly, there's no way around this. So my entire journey didn't start off with a lie. That's a little too hyperbolic right there. But in order to enter this safe zone full of what are not puppets but people, because I did play the demo, right? Sorry to spoil it for those who don't. I have to be much more sensitive to that right there. I have to lie. But I'm one of the only individuals that can lie. Now, why can't a robot lie? You know? That's a lot of fun. Oh, man, I just read this article about they're trying to teach AI ethics. And this is where people in my field, because my specialty is moral philosophy. Or, okay, I want to say specialty. Obviously, I'm a subject matter expert. I was hired to create an ethics course, but the people who I look up to are so much more superior academics than I am. It feels wrong for those words to come out of my mouth, you know? But I am considered a professional moralist because I do get paid for my expertise in that field. That's where people in that field are going to shine. Because, ironically, in order to teach AI ethics, we have to teach objective moral ethics. We can't teach subjective ethics because AI can only make determinate conclusions. So the information that we put in is the information that's going to come out. That's where Searle's Chinese room experiment really, I say, destroys the Turing test. And maybe we'll talk about that one day. But for now, let's enter Hotel Kratz. I'm going to try to lie, though, a couple times and see what happens. Prove your identity. What a existential question that is. I am a puppet.
Puppets are a constant source of trouble.
Aren't we now?
The hotel forbids all outside puppets. Please leave the premises.
You know, puppets are a cause of trouble. Now, why would puppets be a cause of trouble? Because puppets don't have anything novel to say. This is now Jordan Peterson again, and the archetype of the puppet of Pinocchio, right? It's what we see nowadays. Oh my goodness. This will probably go into a story of this lady that we met when we were on vacation this week. But, so what is a puppet? A puppet is somebody else pulling your strings. So you often wonder, well, what does it mean to be like being pulled by somebody else's strings? Well, how many people are absolutely possessed by certain ideologies, right? It's like, well, have you done the research where this makes sense to you, this specific ideology? Does it make sense to you? Because if not, whose words are you using? You're kind of just saying therefores that you don't know, right? You haven't done the work for it. And given, we take a lot of things for granted in our life, right? We don't look up everything, nor would we be able to look up everything. But there's an extreme to this, right? There gets to the point where you're not even saying any of your own words. Maybe you don't even know what you believe anymore. You're just using somebody else's words. Well, that's the puppet. You know, that's the individual who is speaking somebody else's words. And this leads me to a discussion I had this weekend with a lady, just some stranger. You know, it was late. My family and I wanted to go into the hot tub. We were on vacation on the other side of the island, and it was kind of a colder night, so we wanted to go in the hot tub because it was a colder night. And there were two individuals there, and they were having a pleasant conversation. I sat down, and they started having a pleasant conversation with us. Now, what was interesting is, when we were just talking like that, you could really see who they are. This lady was a flight attendant, and the other guy was from Canada, and he was actually like an ex-hockey player, and he's a golfer too. So he wanted to know about the golf courses on the other side of the island, on the dry side of the island. But we were having a pleasant conversation. But then once the guy talked about Trump, you saw this lady, like it's almost as if this demon possessed her. She was just like snarling even, "You can have him." And it was just like, man, whose words were that right there? Because it's almost like something possessed you, You became a puppet using somebody else's words, somebody else's ideas. Your individuality was taken away. This is often why they say, I think it was Caesar who once said, beware of those who beat the drums of war, because they kind of embolden you, they embolden nationalism, for lack of a better word. I don't think that's what he said specifically, but they limit the mind, and that's the specific one. They limit the mind. You become somebody else. It's like when you watch The Lion King and Scar is saying his amazing song, Be Prepared. Like throughout that song, you see the identity of the hyenas leave them. All of a sudden, they all have the same eyes, and they're all moving the same way. They're all moving like puppets, So yeah, puppets are extremely problematic. Can I actually go back? Okay. I know how many times, and it tells me like game over, right? Well, I tell you what, Zhuge Liang, they had to ask him 3 times. So let's give it 3 times. I'm going to tell the truth 3 times and see if this ends my game. Aren't they all? I said that last time. All outside puppets. I didn't see that last time. All outside. So there's actually puppets on the inside, huh? Okay. All right, one more time, as I promised. Old Zhuge Liang. If you want something great, you have to ask at least 3 times.
Who are you? Puppets are at Konza Hotel for...
All right, so clearly, in order for me to seek the sanctuary, I must lie.
Who are you?
Am I, though? Am I human? So much responsibility attached to that. A 4th law.
Welcome to Hotel Krat.
Your springs react with the red glow because you lied. That's so funny, too. Obviously, I deal with a lot of students who, when they begin their journey in my philosophy class, they are all usually moral relativist, extremely subjective. None of them really, not none of them, but very few of them believe in objectivity. Although that seems to be turning now. Maybe that's a discussion for another time. But what is fascinating is I tell them, well, can you imagine lying for a whole month straight? Do you think your life will get better? So maybe there's something objectively wrong about lying, Because if anybody does that for an entire month, you'll see how fast their world falls into turmoil, right? All right, how long have we been doing this? Almost an hour. And here we go, Lies of P. So this opening... This right here, I don't think this was in the demo. Or maybe it was. No, I don't recall this. Okay. How did I know there was an opening? Now, to be honest, when I decided to do this, to stream this, it was right here during this right here on a playthrough. I was like, nah, I've got to stream this. I think this is going to be something special. And the majority of the stuff I tried to stick to here weren't things I was actually thinking about. Maybe one or 2 of them were, but I tried to keep it novel as I was experiencing things, to try to bring up something novel and new that I didn't think about the first time. Okay. Interesting symbol. And then the glitch. And all of a sudden, everybody is being murdered. That's the thing about AI. That's the thing about computers, you know? Like all of your bank accounts and everything, it's like, is it really secure? I mean, when we used to put it in vaults and stuff like that at my house, you know, you could at least defend the people who would actually have to come in and take it. But nowadays, if you know the right code, you can turn that bank against you. And then the blue fairy wakes up our dear hero, Pinocchio. Ugh, yeah. I think right here is where I was like, oh God, this is going to be something special. Now, during the demo, I did get to hear. So what I'll probably do is I'll talk to the blue fairy, Sophia Wisdom, and I'll probably end right there. But this has been a wonderful experience. Speaking to the possibility of individuals, or nobody at all, you know, but still. The idea that there might be eyes just adds another layer to the enjoyment.
Searched all over the city of Crop to find you. You must have questions. Geppetto will have answers. But we have to find him first. He was last seen on Elysian Boulevard. All of Crop is dangerous for humans. And that neighborhood is one of the scariest.
Oh, interesting. We're going to go down the scariest, huh? One of the scariest.
I'll explain more once you find him.
Okay. So for those who don't know, Sophia is wisdom. That's why philosophia, it comes from philia, which is like love and admiration or seeking. And Sophia is wisdom. So philosophy is the seeking of wisdom. And it's like, that is just like a drop in the bucket right there of what philosophy actually means. The best way to describe what philosophy means as opposed to other disciplines is like, one, it's a critical analysis of all forms of truth. But another one, it seeks to find the common thread, the truth that exists throughout history. So I often say, like, if you're interested in culture and race and stuff like that, that's more of sociology and anthropology. What philosophy tries to seek is that like golden thread of truth that exists in humanity, and that's something like, oh, it's something that fills me with awe. Not to steal from Kant, but it's like for Kant it was de bestimmte Himmel über mir und das moralische Gesetz in mir. De bestimmte Himmel über mir und das moralische Gesetz in mir. And I don't speak German. It just I kind of tried to remember that phrase because it's the starry heavens above and the moral law within. And one thing I find fascinating as a golden thread that exists in humanity is that moral law within, and it truly does inspire awe in me. That's why, like, a lot of my students, they say, I love when you teach. You have so much passion. It's like, well, I have so much passion because I love investigating the moral law that exists within us. That's one of the golden threads that seems to exist throughout human history, that common golden thread. So Sophia she is. You can use wisdom. So you can level up through wisdom by using the conclusions in your possession. Maybe ergo does in fact mean therefore. One more vitality. One more attack. Oh no, capacity. No, it was motive that was attack. Yeah, let's bring this a little closer. Let's go that way. All right, and so we have leveled up, and look at Gemini.
I think he's in shock.
Okay, hold up.
Gemini is fine.
That's proof you're broken. The real Gemini isn't so calm. I'm no inventor. But perhaps I can fix him. Or perhaps he'll fix himself in time. Wait, take this pocket watch. Krat is a labyrinth of peril right now. This watch will guide you to a safe place. Be careful, clever one.
Turns back time when the boy was in peak condition. All right, so that's where we're in today. This was a lot of fun. I hope to be able to do this for at least an hour a day and then toss it on the HD Philosophy site. You folks have a wonderful day, and if you can, take some time with the classics because they'll unlock that hidden dragon within you. Take care.